Hi, it's Tweedledee here. Welcome to another episode of the Complete Beginner's Guide to League of Legends. In this video I want to highlight lane control, by which I mean last hitting minions only, pushing the lane, and how to freeze a lane. I'm not going to go into any great depth in each of them topics, but what I want to do is briefly highlight it so at least you're aware of it. You can research it further yourself, or I myself might make a video in the future with more advanced tactics and you can follow it in that. So let's move on with the video. So number one, last hitting. What is it? So last hitting basically means you do not attack the enemy minions whatsoever. When the minion is about to die, you auto attack that minion. You last hit it. You basically hit it on its last leg so it dies then to that hit. And then you wait. The next minion comes along, it's been attacked, it's about to die. You hit that one then. Basically, you're not standing in lane auto-attacking after auto-attack after auto-attack on the minions. You're just waiting for that last hit that will secure the kill on it. So for the purpose of this video, I've just done a custom game against a bot in bot lane to highlight last hitting. So what you'll notice is I'm standing in lane and I'm not auto-attacking all the minions. I'm literally just waiting back, I'm hanging back, I'm mobile, I'm clicking around the map, and I'm firing at the last hits, I'm getting that kill most of the time on the minions with just one shot. Now obviously in a PvP game where you've got double bot lane and you're playing against a human as well, where there would be harassing and possibly trades which you don't want to get into either, it's not as easy as this. But I've just used the custom game obviously to highlight specifically best case scenario if you were to be able to last hit only. So you can just watch what I'm doing in this video. Is basically just walking around the lane, trying not to trade with misfortune, and I'm just trying to last hit only. Also notice by doing this how the minions have pushed up towards my turret. So I'm safe from enemy ganks now having done this. So if the enemy is just doing what she's doing, she's using spells on minions, she's attacking minions when she feels like it, what they're doing then is pushing up to my lane. I'm a little bit behind on experience in this one because she's killing the minions quicker, but that's irrelevant, I'll catch up on that very quickly. But now she's at a position where she's way up to my turret. If I had an early ganker in this stage of the game, so I'm level 2, we could get a level 2 kill on misfortune. So by not constantly auto-attacking the minions, I've basically not pushed my lane, which has made a safe environment for myself to play in, and a more dangerous environment for the enemy to play in. Last hitting is not easy to master, it takes practice, lots and lots and lots of practice. You can do is make a custom game like this, where you don't have the added pressure of a person trying to harass you, and it will help you get used to when the minions will die with a particular champion, the runes and masteries that you've got on board as well. So just to do a quick recap, last hitting. Don't ever hit your minions unless you want to push the lane. That obviously makes sense. Wait until a minion is just about to die, then auto-attack it. So there you go. When a minion is just about to die, you auto-attack it. You get the gold, you've killed that minion, you've last hit. So regardless of the lane you're in, you'll need to be mobile, use good positioning. So it's a lot easier in this video that I'm showing you where I could just stand there basically and misfortune does nothing. But if you're playing against people, you've got to use good positioning. Position yourself a little bit above the wave, behind the wave, down by the wave, whatever is optimal against the champion that you're playing against. So by controlling your minions, you at least have some control over the lane. So you've got a little bit of control by controlling your minions. You can decide either to push the lane, freeze the lane, or last hit only, or you can sacrifice the last hits, don't even last anything, and just let them push a little bit more. You still gain XP, but they'll push that little bit further if you need to. Don't get distracted by senseless trades, concentrate on farming. People always get distracted and they try and trade early, they try and go for them kills all the time. Farming is much more important, especially at lower levels, and then what happens is you're playing for the mid-late game and all of a sudden you're farmed so much better, you've got so much more gold and you can carry the game hard. Practice, practice, practice. It takes practice, it's not easy. Even when you practice, it's still hard, you still miss them. Practice. I can't say practice enough. So lane freezing. I'm not going to go in depth into this. There's other guides out there, or like I said, I might do a more comprehensive, advanced video on lane freezing at another stage. But for the purpose of this video, I just want to highlight it. Just want to make you aware of what it is. So lane freezing basically means keeping the minion battle site static. So it means that you're not pushing the wave, and maybe that the enemy wave's not pushing on you. You want it in a particular spot. It is best to freeze a lane close to your turret, but not too close that they're getting hit, because if they're getting hit by your turret, now your lane is being pushed again. So you want them just outside range of your turret. That is the most optimal place to freeze your lane. So you can tank the minions. If your minion wave is gone and the enemy minions are starting to push further, you can actually push out a bit, tank that minions, walk a little bit to the left or the right or the top or bottom of the lane, and they'll follow you around a little circle, and you're going basically waiting for your minion wave to arrive. At lower levels it's not really a good idea because you've got to remember how much damage the creeps do. I think it's something like 10 health points per hit per creep. That adds up when you've got 4 or 5 of them trying to hit you. So freezing the lane is good for a wave that is about to go into your turret range. So if it's about to go into your turret range, which basically means that they're going to end up dying to that turret, your lane's going to be pushed, you should freeze the lane. You can just walk out, tank as much of it as you can, make them follow you around a little bit, your wave should be on its way up, and then you've tanked it until your wave arrives, the turret doesn't hit them, you've just froze it right outside your turret range, which is awesome. So the last bullet point on screen is freezing is more or less achieved by last hitting minions only, or tanking the minions if you've got no wave. Now while there is more to it than that, it is more or less achieved by last hitting minions only and tanking the minions. I'm not going to go any further into detail at this point on lane freezing. So in this next clip, notice that I've arrived in lane and I've instantly started auto attacking the minions. Now if you notice too, I haven't neglected the last hits. I've also tried my best to last hit the minions to make sure I got the gold. But look, within 2 minutes 24 seconds I'm already pushed past mid and up towards their turret. Now imagine if this was a PvP game and I'd managed to get this far. It's not that you'd even get that far, but imagine I did. And the jungler decided to come and gank. Now, I'm finished, I've got nowhere to go and I'm level 2. So if they had a strong level 2 ganker, say for instance Lee Sin, who can gank really hard level 2, I was dead. Bottom line is, this is not how you want to play a lane. You're pushing way too hard, you've got no control over what you're doing, and it's going to end in a disaster. On the other hand, if you actually want to push your lane, you can auto attack like that. Just keep pushing, keep attacking the minions. But do not forget to get your last hits. Don't neglect that. It's too much gold you're missing out on if you're not getting your last hits. So I hope I've covered lane freezing and last hitting enough that you can get by on it. If you have any questions, do so in the comments, let me know, and I'll try and answer anything efficiently for you. So let's move on. Now I want to show you how you can find a guide on how to build a champion. Okay, so on screen right now you can see a screenshot from lolking.net. There are many other sites that provide guides, and I'll put links in the description for you where you can find other ones, but the one I do use is lolking. So to get started, what you would do is you click on champions, where I've highlighted it there in red up the top of the screen. It brings you then to this page. So from here you're going to pick the champion that you want to play on the left hand side in the yellow. But for this guide I'm going to click on Annie. So once we click on Annie, it brings you on into this page here. So when we're on this page you want to click on guides, which will bring you to the guides of the champion that you've selected. And we'll move on to here. And then you're going to pick what lane you want to go to. So you see in that one you've got middle, support, jungle. So when you're picking your champions guide, you want to pick the guide that's relevant to the lane you want to pick them in, and one that's popular. Look at the top guide there, it has 1.5 million views, has 1,300 likes, and the next one after for support has 1,137 likes and 1.2 million views. So this is the way you want to pick your guides, one of the top ones. Next page then, when you click the guide you want, I've picked the top one. You can see where I've highlighted down where you can click on runes to find out your rune page. Now otherwise you can just scroll down. But you can click on runes there, masteries, abilities, items, and it'll just basically bring you to the section on the screen where it was on the website. So let's just say we've scrolled down as far as summoner spells, runes, masteries. So here now you can see the summoner spells you should get. So that's telling you ignite, flash, or teleport, flash. You can click on the read author notes in order to get more detailed explanation on what summoner spells you use. So what you're basically going to do is mimic the runes, mimic the masteries into your profile. Now I know if you're not level 30 or so, you won't have all the runes available to you. Also you won't have all the mastery points available to you. But basically just put in what you can. Again, click on the read author notes if you want to read more in-depth explanation as to why the author has chosen what he has. So moving on, you scroll down to the abilities. It tells you which ability to pick first and how to maximize them. So that basically means when you level up, which one do you pick. Again, read the author notes on that if you want. Now we move on down to the items. So you can add these items to your item sets, as I've shown you in a previous video, or you can just ring them off as you need be. Use the items that are in the guide, and when you get more experience with your champion, and you start to play slightly different, You can then tweak your build as you begin to understand other items and what they do. And last but not least, in the champion guide, if you go scroll down even further, you see matchups. Basically what you can do is press on show notes for the matchup that you're against. So for instance in this one, I've picked Cassiopeia. So if I was any mid and I seen that Cassiopeia was my opponent, I would go to this website, I would click on show notes for Cassiopeia, and now you can see the red bar states that she's a very hard champion for me to play against as Annie, and there's some notes of what you can do to help you play against her. The same works for most champions that they have on it. So just to quickly recap on that, to find your guide, go to www.lolking.net. I'll have a link provided in the description, and also to a few other sites, but the one I'm using for this video is lolking.net. Go to select champions from the top menu, select the champion you wish to get a guide for, then you're going to select guides from the sub menu, select the lane or guide you want, pick a popular one. Scroll down and take what information you wish from the guide, it's up to you. Now there's always such a big debate about pre-level 20, oh you should never buy runes unless you're level 20 and you can buy tier 3 runes. I can purposely see the argument for that, but my advice to you is buy tier 1 runes. They're very cheap, ignore tier 2 completely, they're too expensive for the return. So buy tier 1 runes as you unlock them, and save all that IP up that you've got for tier 3 runes when you reach level 20. So the most common runes at this time to use would be the Lesser Quintessence of Ability Power, Lesser Quintessences of Attack Damage, Lesser Mark of Attack Damage, Lesser Glyphs of Magic Resist, and Lesser Seal of Armor. When you reach level 20, I would advise buying the same ones as these in tier 3. They're just a really good all-round rune and are used in almost every champion. They're really well worth buying. But I just want to highlight, you can have an entire debate here about runes, what's right, what's wrong, what should be bought pre-20, what shouldn't be bought pre-20. I don't want to get into that. I just want to state from my opinion what I think. It's up to you whether you go by it or not, or what you've read elsewhere or not. But that's my opinion, and if I was to start over again, it's exactly how I would do it personally. So with that being said guys, that's pretty much it for this video. If you've liked what you've seen, or have helped you in any way, please subscribe or like. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, bye bye.